Hey guys, welcome to the first video on the channel, which, by the way, when you're watching this, there should be another 2 whole videos for you to watch right now. As of recording, I've got absolutely no idea what those videos will be, so I have a suspicion that they'll be not related to this video at all. But anyways, this video took me ages to make. You might be able to see that by the time, the little timestamp. I had a lot of issues. I had to make my own tier list of 162 dinosaurs in it for a start, which took ages. And then I had so many issues recording, and yada yada yada. But, you know, we're here now. So without further ado, welcome to the channel and welcome to... Okay guys, it's... It's day 3 of trying to record this tier list video. So let's just get started. So first of all, we've got a Belosaurus, and not a very strong star. We're going D. A Belosaurus has been in like 2 things ever. I've heard of it like twice, and he's really not a very cool guy in general. He's not got a lot of clout. Akabilitator, on the other hand, I quite like him. He's a solid B. He's been in quite a lot of things. In terms of dromaeosaurs go, he's quite cool. I should have said this at the start actually. There's 162 dinosaurs on this list, just for reference, and a lot of them are very similar. So we're gonna get to this later, but there's a lot of ceratopsians, there's a lot of dromaeosaurs, there's a lot of sauropods, there's a lot of, you know, big theropods, there's a lot of ankylodogids, there's a lot of dinosaurs, and some of them are very similar. So forgive me if some of them I don't have much to say on at all. Also, some of them that I don't have to say on at all, I'm just gonna try flick through because this video's gonna take forever. So yeah, Agilosaurus, F, it sucks. It's been like nothing. It's terrible. Bad dinosaur. Alamosaurus is like C. It's just another big sauropod. There's really nothing special about it at all. Albertoceratops, D. I mean, in terms of ceratopsians go, it's alright, but I generally, I mean, you might see this trend, I really don't like ceratopsians. I feel like they're quite boring. So, you know, just all round D in terms of a dinosaur, you know. Albertosaurus, I'd say B. I was gonna go for A there, but I'm like, no. He's a B. I feel like a lot of people don't like Albertosaurus, but I think he's quite cool. You'll never believe where he was discovered, by the way. As with a lot of the dinosaurs you'll see. Yeah, so he's a B around. Alioramus, he's quite cool actually. I quite like him. I feel like he's a bit underrated. Not many people talk about him at all, but I've seen him in quite a few things, and I think he's pretty alright. Allosaurus is our first S tier. As you may know, I really like Allosaurus. I mean, like, what's not to love? He's just really cool. He's just like, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong about him. I feel like I could talk about him all day, but like, he was like the coolest boy of his time. He was going around, he was absolutely destroying everyone, and he's just really cool, and he's done a lot of cool things as well. Like Big Al, oh my god, until the toe got him. But yeah, so then we go into Amargasaurus. Amargasaurus, I'd say, is a solid B. Definitely one of the better sauropods on this list due to all those spikes. It makes him quite unique, you know. I feel like he's quite cool in that regard. There's not a lot of people like him. Ankylosaurus, solid A. There's a lot of guys like him in this list, and he's like the OG. And he's just like he's a walking tank basically. He's pretty cool. He's got that massive club going for him. And I've always quite liked Ankylosaurus. I feel like it's quite cool. Apatosaurus, I may not have expected this. I feel like he's an A. I always really like Apatosaurus. I feel like he's always been one of my favourite wee guys. In terms of sauropods go, he's maybe my personal favourite. Because I feel like a lot of them are just kind of the same. But Apatosaurus I've always grown up with. I feel like he's a favourite of mine. Archaeopteryx, you're never going to believe this. There's actually S tier. I love Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx is so goated. I think he's like the coolest guy ever. You might not have expected that at all, but I think Archaeopteryx is absolutely awesome. I think he was in the Jurassic. He's like the missing link between dinosaurs and birds. But, you know, just apart from all that history stuff, I just really like him. I feel like for my childhood, I've had like a lot of toys of him and stuff, and he's just been really cool. I've always thought he looked really cool. I used to have this like transformer of him. I don't know if they're still about, but you know, I thought that was really cool. I wonder if I would have found that. Argentinosaurus is a B. The only reason Argentinosaurus ranks above like half of the other sauropods that are going to be in this is because for quite a while Argentinosaurus was like the biggest dinosaur ever, and I feel like he's gonna get a bit of respect for that, just for being so huge. I mean, he's been beaten now. There's other things that are bigger, but you know, I think that's pretty cool. Atrociraptor, I feel like is a C. He's better than some of the other dromaeosaurids in this list, but you know, there's not really much going for him apart from that he was in that one Jurassic Park movie that nobody watched. But I thought, you know, he's alright. Ostroraptor, I feel like is an A. I feel like in terms of the dromaeosaurids that we're gonna get later, he's quite unique. He's like, you can't remember, this picture's maybe not the best, but he's kind of like the swan of the raptors. He's got this big long face that would be used for eating fish. He'd be in like river, he literally was like a swan. He'd sort of live for swans were, and he looks quite majestic as well. So I feel like he is deserving of that tier. Now, Avaceratops, I absolutely despise this little guy. He's so ugly, first of all, and he gets loved way too much. He's in so many things, and all he is a little tiny Triceratops, and there's really nothing special about him at all. I really don't get what all the hype's about. He's not cute, he's not special, and this is where he belongs. He belongs down here, and I don't think he's just fodder, and I don't care for him at all. Avamimus is also an F. He's literally just a chicken, and there's really not much going for him either. Barosaurus, I feel like is a D. I mean, he's just a Diplodocus that's like, or a Diplodocus, however you want to say it. He's just like a bigger version of that. And so, I mean, he was quite humongous as well, but that's really his only trait going from that he was huge. Now here we get on to some of the cooler guys. So we've got Baryonyx, he's obviously an A. I really like Baryonyx. Obviously he's UK based, so that's going for him. But then also any Spinosaurid is kind of cool in general. I feel like all the Spinosaurids are going to come up here. So he's quite cool. I really like Baryonyx. He's just a unique dinosaur, I'd say. Speaking of Spinosaurids, Becchelspinax is like what, like a D? I mean, what, he was in like one Jurassic Park thing. That's like the only thing he's ever been in. I never even heard of him before that. Apart from the fact that he's got a pretty cool name, Becchelspinax, but you know, he's pretty. I don't care for him all. Bipiosaurus. Anyone who plays the Isle, which is no one who's watching this video, but some people who are watching the Isle might think, what the hell is this? That's because in real life, Bipiosaurus was like a porcupine, and then in the Isle they turned him into a duck. So not really paleo accurate, but I mean, I kind of like what they did with him in the Isle. But in terms of real life, I mean, like, yeah, he's like a D, like what? I mean, he's just like a sort of fuzzy guy. Not really much going from at all. Brachiosaurus, I feel like, is at least a B. I probably would rank him higher for like the nostalgia, but I mean, I don't know, I've always liked the Apatosaurus better. Brachiosaurus has just been like, I always feel like I prefer the horizontal guys to the big tall guys, but I don't know, that's just me. Well, we've got Camarasaurus, that's like what, a D. I mean, really nothing special. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, none of these are ranked in order, they're all just going in their category. There's so many dinosaurs, if I ranked every single one individually, we would actually be here for another half an hour. So yeah, Camarasaurus is it. Camptosaurus, F, nobody cares, it's just boring, one of the ones that gets forgotten. Carcharodontosaurus is an A for sure. Carcharodontosaurus is really cool. He was absolutely humongous. I think he was Africa. You know, he was Africa because he was right next to Spinosaurus. He was like Spinosaurus' biggest competition. They sure they had fights at one point. I think there might be a Carcharodontosaurus fossil with like Spinosaurus teeth in it and vice versa. But either way, he's really cool and he's got a cool name. So yeah, I mean, mad respect to that guy. Same with Carnotaurus. I feel like he deserves up here. He's always been one of my favorites. Almost S tier for me, but you know, I feel like A tier belongs. When he's slender, a lot of people make him fat. Why? Stop making fat Carnotaurus. It's not. It doesn't look nice at all, and I feel like the slender ones just look better. Ceratosaurus, I feel like it's a solid B. I like Ceratosaurus, but you know, he's not as cool as some of these other guys. But I think he's respectable. He was Jurassic, I think. I don't know. Kazmasaurus is no, he's an F. I don't care for him at all. Ceratopsians, I hate Ceratopsians. They're boring. I think them so boring. And Kazmasaurus is absolutely nothing special. Same with Chungkingosaurus. The only thing I've ever seen him in is a game, and he sucked. He sucked so hard. Why was he in that game? I hated him. So yeah, he's nothing like Coelophysis, which you'll be surprised is going to be an A. Coelophysis was Triassic era. History lesson. We had Cretaceous period, Jurassic period, and Triassic period for the dinosaurs. Cretaceous period is the most recent, with like T-Rex and Then we had Jurassic with like Allosaurus and Dilophosaurus. And in Jurassic period, there was like no dinosaurs at all. It was all like, you know, mammal, you know, things like wooden. But he was like one of the first dinosaur guys roaming about, and he's pretty cool. Mad respect for that. Compy, I feel like I'm gonna give a B. Just because he's in so much media, and he's always like the little rat, and I kind of like rats. But yeah, I feel like Compy is respectable. He's got a wee name for himself. Concavinator, I feel like is up, so he's a B. He's not sucky. I feel like he's kind of cool. He's got his wee mad hump going on. He's a bit underrated. But yeah, I kind of like him. Corythosaurus, I feel like is a C. C for Corythosaurus. I feel like he's just outshined by some of the other Hadrosaurs. There's some Hadrosaurs that I feel like are actually going to go up here. But Corythosaurus is just not really that special for me. Cryolophosaurus is a B. I've always quite liked Cryolophosaurus. I feel he's quite cool. He was always in. I always really liked him because he was in these like edgy 2010 like emo death punk edit videos. I don't know if I'll have one of those showing up on the screen, but I watched those videos where I've always thought he was quite cool. Daspletosaurus is a D. You might be surprised that I'm putting a theropod this low. I quite like theropods, but I mean he's really not got much going for him apart from he's just like a smaller version of T-Rex, and you know, pick your own lane, buddy. Make yourself unique. Dinosaurus, S tier. I was debating putting him S, but A, but no. S tier, I think, is deserved. He's absolutely humongous. He's got giant claws. He's weird as he's like the platypus if it was a dinosaur. He's got like the duck bill and everything. But Dinosaurus was humongous, and he was able to like. He was really cool. He's kind of like I always think of him as like a different version of Therizinosaurus, which you know that might kind of spoil if Therizinosaurus is gonna go. But yeah. Moving on, we've got Deinonychus, and I feel like Deinonychus is a solid A. In terms of the Raptors go, I always really like Deinonychus. I feel like he's quite cool. He got absolutely shafted in Jurassic World Evolution 2. He looked, what the hell is that? But yeah, Dilophosaurus, S tier. I love Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus, Allosaurus, and another guy later are always competing to be my favorite dinosaur. Whenever you ask me what my favorite dinosaur is, it's one of these three, we're going to get into later, that are always compete to be my favorite. It just depends on the day. And Dilophosaurus, he's so cool. He didn't spit venom like in Jurassic Park, but you know, I think he's respectable in his own way. Diplodocus or Diplodocus, or however the way you want to say it, he's like a solid B. He's pretty average. He's cooler than you know, some of the other ones, but yeah, I think he's respectable. Draco Rex, he's like a D. He's just a worse version of Pico later to come. Apart from a cool name, that's about it. Dreadnoughtus is a C. Dreadnoughtus had a cool name, and that's about it. That's all Dreadnoughtus had going for him. Yeah, he's just a big dinosaur. Dromaeosaurus, the only reason this guy has any sort of clout is because all of the raptors are all classed under dromaeosaurids. I don't know if you know that. You probably didn't. But they're all dromaeosaurs, and this guy is Dromaeosaurus, so I guess this guy was discovered first or whatever. Who cares? D. No one even talks about this guy. Clearly he's not important at all, apart from the fact that he named the genus for all the other ones. Dryosaurus I feel like is a solid B. He's, you know, he's just a sort of solid dinosaur. Dryptosaurus, D. He's been in like one thing, don't really care at all. Edmontosaurus has some, no, not that high. He's B. Edmontosaurus is a B. He got killed by T-Rex, that was like his main thing. Aenosaurus, D. The only reason this guy's not F is because his horn is kind of cool. Eoraptor, F, and also for that matter, Eotyrannus. They've been like 2 things ever, and they've got that whole Eoraptor, Eotyrannus. They're like nothing compared to, you know, they're trying to be something right now. Erolichosaurus, I feel like is a C, just because of how powerful it was in that one game. But you know, yeah, Erolichosaurus isn't. Yeah, it's cool. I feel like anything that's kind of resembles a Therizinosaurus. Again, that's like a hint. Anything that resembles a Therizinosaurus is going to be decently high. Eocephalus is like a C. Definitely a knockoff version of Ankylosaurus, but like, you know, he's kind of made a name for himself now. Apart from Fukiraptor and Fukisaurus, similar to Eotyrannus and Eoraptor, they're just boring and no one cares. I've never heard anyone talk about them ever. Gallimimus, we're gonna go for a B. Gallimimus was normally feathered, but I put the non-feathered version from Jurassic Park because we have a lot of other feathered guys very similar to him, so I thought I'd make him distinct. He's quite unique in his own way, and I quite like him. So, B for him. Gastonia, D. He's pretty unoriginal. You know, get something new, mate. Giganotosaurus, solid A. He's right up there with Carcharodontosaurus. I feel like both of them are absolutely solid dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean, like, he was like the top predator of South America, so, and he was bigger than T-Rex, I'm pretty sure, so, you know, take that. Gigantoraptor, solid A. I feel like I could have put him S, but, you know, I'm not feeling it today. He was like absolutely massive version of Oviraptor. He's like the most unique guy ever. What dinosaur looks like this? Not many, but that are this big. So, you know, he's pretty cool. Giraffatitan, cool name, that's the only reason he's cool. Gorgosaurus, B, he was in that one movie, that's pretty cool, I quite liked him. And apart from that, he's pretty cool as well. Guanlong, C, the only reason this guy's clout is because he's distantly related to T-Rex, that's it. Hadrosaurus, where's Dromaeosaurus, where did I put him? Yeah, right there. He's right with Dromaeosaurus because Hadrosaur, again, all these other guys are called Hadrosaurs, which I assume is because of this guy. That's the only reason anyone cares about him at all. Hararosaurus, solid B, cool dinosaur, quite like him, always liked him. Huayangosaurus, sorry for my pronunciation, is a D, no one cares. Hylaeosaurus, C, better than some of the others, he's pretty cool, he's like a giant armadillo. Hypsilophodon is also a C, he's pretty unique in his own wee way, and I quite like him. Iguanodon is another S. I've always loved Iguanodon. I feel like he deserves it for the second dinosaur ever discovered, and also being UK based. I feel like he's a pretty cool guy. He was originally thought to be something completely different, but then they found out that that wee horn in his head was actually a thumb spike. So this guy had giant hands, and he had this massive spike that you'd use to pop things or something, I don't know. Irritator, Spinosaurid, I feel like he's B. He's not as cool as some of the other ones, but you know, he's cool in his own regard. I quite like Irritator. Then was this, like what, Jingshanosaurus, forgot that guy even existed, he's like an F, no one cares about him. Plateosaurus is better. Jobaria, C, nothing really special at all. No, you know what, F, he sucks. Kentrosaurus, I've always quite liked Kentrosaurus. I'd go for an A. He's pretty cool, he's pretty unique in his own way, different from some of the other guys like him. So I quite like him in that way. Critosaurus, F, he's a rip-off version of everything else. Lambeosaurus, unlike Critosaurus, I'm gonna go for a B. I feel like in terms of Hadrosaurus go, he's pretty cool. He's got that whole like cool head thing going on. So yeah, in terms of like a different hadrosaur, he's pretty cool. Unlike Lesothosaurus, F. No one cares. Don't like him at all. Lycorinus. Lycorinus. No, I don't hate him. He's just boring. Don't care about him at all. Magirosaurus. He was an island dwarf sauropod, so he's just a tiny horse-sized sauropod, and that's the only reason he's special. Maiasaura. I feel like his name. I always quite liked Maya. He's always been one of my top picks, even though there's nothing really special about him. I don't know why, I always just kind of liked him. Ooh, the next pick, Majungasaurus. Ooh, he's almost S. He is almost S. He's almost S. When someone else comes along, I may decide between him and someone else if they go S. But Majungasaurus, I've always thought is really cool. He lives on Madagascar. That's a pretty cool place for a dinosaur to live. And he was like the top predator there, and he was just really cool. I've always liked Majungasaurus. Anything that Majungasaurus is in, he's pretty cool. He's almost S, I feel. Unlike Malawisaurus, I wonder where this guy was found. D. Nothing special. Heard about him once. Mamenchisaurus does has some clout because he's in Jurassic Park 2. And that's the only reason this guy's got any sort of clout. Mapusaurus is a solid B. He was the special thing about this guy is he was absolutely humongous, and he hunted in packs, which is like, what? It's like if a Giga or anything hunted in packs and they hunted down sauropods, and that's just really cool. So, you know, apart from that, he's nothing special. Megalosaurus, I feel like, is an A. And you're going to be like, why is Megalosaurus an A? Because he was the first dinosaur ever discovered. Yeah, all these guys are like, thank you, Megalosaurus. He was the first dinosaur ever discovered. Horribly reconstructed. He did not look. They did not think he looked like this, but he's cool, and he's also British, so you know, got that UK in him. Metrocanthosaurus is a solid C. He wants so hard to be Carcharodontosaurus, but he's not. He's not. Get him in his place. He's down in C. He's not that cool. Microceratus is an A. And that is weird for a ceratopsian. Really small. I'm not really a ceratopsian, to be honest. But I think he's quite cool. He's also really cute. He's just really adorable. And so yeah, I feel like he's always been kind of cool. Microraptor, I hate him so much. Get him at the bottom of the list. Mainly, I mean, you're gonna ask why Archaeopteryx is up here and Microraptor's down here. They're basically the same thing, but Microraptor,
because when they see a player mounted on a medium-sized creature, they will attack you, bite you, and stun you, so that you will get dismounted from your mount and be stunned for about 10 seconds afterwards, leaving you vulnerable from...
I've got so many memories of Microraptor, and I hate him so much. So yeah, he's going down on my hate list. Minmi's really cute, that's why he's getting C. Monolophosaurus has always been really cool, he's getting B. Mononychus, he was in Prehistoric Planet once, he's a C. He's not really special, apart from you can see in the dark pretty well. Mosasaurus is absolutely nothing special, and he's an F. Muttaburrasaurus is a worse version of Maya, and he's just a D. Nanshinigunosaurus is an F. He's not cool at all. Neoventinator is in D because he's got a cool name. Nigersaurus is an F. Don't like him. Why did they name him that as well? Neponosaurus, F. Don't care about him. Heard of him once. Same with Nodosaurus. And Nodosaurus is not an F. He's in C. I quite like Nodosaurus. He's cool. He's kind of like, they're kind of best buds. Then we got Nomingia, F, because he's just a worse version of this guy down here. Northornicus is D because there's a cool discovery behind him. Ornithomimus is a C. He's kind of made a name for himself now, but he's just a worse version of Galley. Oreodromus is getting a B because he was really cute in the aisle and he was Oreo coloured and everyone called him Oreo, and I thought that was really cute and I was really into him for that reason. Ouranosaurus is a D. He's just a slightly different version. I mean, apart from the fact that Spinosaurus ate his ass up. That is like the only reason that he's special. Oviraptor is a solid B. Quite like him. Not as cool as Gigantoraptor, but you know, he holds his own. Then we got Pachycephalosaurus. Solid B. I feel like I'd go A, but you know, he's never really been my favourite. But you gotta respect the grind in this guy. I quite like him. Pachyrhinosaurus is an F. He's almost in the hate tier. I really don't like him. I don't know why. I feel like he's just kind of sucky, and I don't know why anyone ever does like him. He's just a boring ceratopsian that has like no horns at all, and is just boring. Don't like him at all. Get him down in F. Then we've got Panoplosaurus. Who the hell is that guy? Get him down there. Same with Paralotitan. Heard of him like once. What? He's so boring. Parasaurolophus. Solid A. I feel like he deserves to be up here with Maiasaura. Even though I kind of like Maya more. I don't know why, but you know. Parasaurolophus is quite iconic. Unlike Parkasaurus, which is a D, no one cares about him. Patagotitan is a F. Pelicanimimus. Sorry, you should read some of these names. Pelicanimimus is D because he looks kind of silly. That's the only reason he's not F. Pentaceratops, F. I hate that guy. I actually do hate that guy. I've hated him in every single thing he's ever been in ever. He's just a disgrace. Pinacosaurus, D. He's not really special at all. Plateosaurus, on the other hand, he's B. I quite like him actually. He's always been quite cool. He's quite unique in his wee way. And Polycanthus, solid C. He kind of goes up with my other wee armadillo buddies here. Wow, I've really been making an army, haven't I? Proceratosaurus is nothing like Ceratosaurus, but I think is cool in his own wee regard. So he's a C. Kind of like how Procompsognathus is, I'm pretty sure exactly the same as Compy. I don't really know the difference. I feel like he might be slightly bigger. Also, they were both furry in real life. They were never scaly like this, but you know, they're the same animal. That's why they're up here. Then we've got Procerolophus. He's a boring version of the ones that I've got up here, so that's why he's down there. Then we've got Proarchaeopteryx. He's a boring version of Archaeopteryx, and he looks like dumb as hell. He looks like those chicken feet. So get him down there. Proceratops. I hate, and he's down there. I don't like him. Piscatosaurus has always been really cute, and so we're gonna go up to A for him. His nickname is Taco. That's quite cute, isn't it? Oh, so get him up there. Pyretosaurus, D. He's okay. He's big. Pyroraptor's always been one of the cooler raptors. He's up here. I've got the Jurassic World Dominion one, even though he looked nothing like this, but you know, I think he's quite cool. David Attenborough told me that this guy is pronounced Changosaurus. It does not read like Changosaurus, but that's how David Attenborough pronounced it, so I'm gonna go with him. He was like China's big top apex predator, so for that reason, yeah, I'm gonna give him an A. I think he's quite cool. He's quite cool in his own regards. Rajasaurus. This is the guy I was talking about. So Rajasaurus and Majungasaurus are very similar, apart from Majungasaurus was Madagascar and Rajasaurus was India. But apart from that, they're very similar creatures. But I don't know which one I like better. Rajasaurus and Majungasaurus, I feel like both of them could be S, but no, I feel like they're probably better being A. I feel like if I really had to pick one, Majungasaurus. I quite like that guy. But Rajasaurus is also really cool. They're basically the same guy, but you know, they're different. They're like cousins, and I quite like them. Votosaurus, wow, cool name. Rugops is boring. It's in like one thing. Saltosaurus is terrible in every game he's ever been in. Saurolophus is a C, boring, apart from the head crest. That was kind of cool. Sauropelta is a D, don't really care for him at all, he's not very unique. Saurophagonix, the only reason that he's getting a C is because he's very similar to Allosaurus, and any game that doesn't have Allosaurus, or any movie that doesn't have Allosaurus, has Saurophagonix, and you know, he's like the stunt double And so that's the only reason I kind of like him at all, because sometimes he makes me happy. Scaliosaurus is quite unique. I feel like he's got a C for that regard. He's kind of like a wee... I don't really know how to describe him. He's just got spikes all over him. He's quite cool. Segosaurus is boring, and no one cares. Segnosaurus is also boring, and no one cares. Shamasaurus... Actually, yeah, he belongs there. Shantungosaurus, I feel like goes up right next to Edmontosaurus. They're literally exactly the same, apart from this guy's American and this guy's Asian. I think they were the same size. Shantungosaurus maybe is a little bit bigger, if I remember right. Shanosaurus is a sauropod with a club tail, and for that reason he's kind of cool. He goes above some of the others in that regard. Cenosauropteryx. That's the best I'm gonna get. He's a squirrel, and he's okay. Terrible name though. Who named that guy? Sinraptor. Terrible name. That's just like what edgelord named you. Same with Sinventor. And then we get to Spinosaurus. Obviously, he's S tier. Everyone knows Spinosaurus as the GOAT. He had a bit of a weird era there where he kept getting nerfed every single decade. But I think he's okay now, and you know he's always cool. No matter if they make him into something really stupid looking, I feel like a Spinosaurus. The thought is always there. He's always really cool. He's the top 3 with Dilophosaurus, Allosaurus, and Spino. Let's just move them up here. I feel like they belong at the top of the list here. They're the stars of the show here. Stegosaurus is a solid A. I always like Stegosaurus. He's quite cool. He deserves to be up there. Struthiomimus. He's kind of made a name for himself now. Not as cool as Gally. Wherever Gally went. Wherever Gally, up here. Who have we got next? Sticky Molog is just a rip-off of Packy. Styracosaurus is actually quite cool. I feel like he deserves to be up in A. In terms of Ceratopsians go, he's probably my favourite. I think he's quite cool. He deserves to be up here. Suchomimus is also A. He's the same as Barry, wherever put Barry. They two are they're cool. Apart from Barry's UK, Spain, Suchomimus is African, and he's quite a bit big. He's quite a bit bigger. But you know, he's cool. Supersaurus is not super. Tarbosaurus is let's go B. He's not as cool as some of these, let's be honest. He's not as cool as like Giga and Karker, but you know, he's there. Tarbosaurus was the T-Rex of his time, I guess, but you know, not as cool. Tarchia is boring and took up too much time in Prehistoric Planet. He sucked. Tenontosaurus is a solid C, only because he's in the L. That's the only reason. Therizinosaurus is a solid S tier. I feel like there's not really much to go wrong with this guy. He's buddies with Dinosaurs, at least in my mind he is. He's just a big guy with claws, and he's really cool. So that's where my thoughts are on him. Torosaurus, D. Really boring, never cared for him at all. Unlike Torvosaurus, which is B. I feel like he's always been quite respectable. He's quite cool in my regard, I think. Triceratops, I feel like you're kind of obligated to give an A. He's fine. Yeah, he's okay. Troodon technically does not exist because there was a dinosaur named first that looks like this, and why did they revert back to that? Because then they discovered that Troodon and that dinosaur was the same thing. Why did they do that? Why did they not just keep it Troodon? Because that name is insane. But apart from that, Troodon's pretty cool. I'd say he's at B. Tijongosaurus is terrible. He's at D. T-Rex. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, there he is. That took a wee while to find. T-Rex, I feel like would be S tier, but I feel like he's always just kind of been like... He's not one of my favourites, let's put it that way. I feel like I mean, he's really cool, obviously, but I feel like in terms of my favorite dinosaurs, he's not up with them. That's where I stand on that. But apart from that, I mean, obviously, he's like the coolest guy ever. Tyranotitan is just a boring version of T-Rex, and he's C. Utahraptor is a solid A. That did not go in A. Where did he go? Ah, there he is. Oh my god, that took a while to find. But yeah, Utahraptor, he's kind of the same as Deinonychus, apart from Utahraptor is bigger, and he's what you see in Jurassic Park. You don't see Velociraptor, who's also going up there. They're the only dromaeosaurs that get respect like that. Apart from Osioraptor. These guys are all cool in their own unique way. This guy is this one. This guy was in the books, Jurassic Park books. This guy is the largest one. And then Velociraptor obviously has his own unique guy. He's like a very angry chicken, and he was absolutely tiny. But I think he's cool in his own regard. Yandusaurus sucks in his F tier. Yingshanosaurus sucks and is in the F tier. Yinlong sucks and is in the F tier. Zalmoxes is pretty cool and he's in B, and you'll notice I skipped over Yutyrannus because he is an S tier. Yutyrannus is always really cool. He's a massive feathered guy, and there's really nothing. He's been one of my favorites from the start. So apart from that, I hope you've enjoyed this way too long of a video. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. See you next time. Wow, look at that. The tier list is over. That only took 35 minutes. Oh my, this video took a while to make. But I think it was worth it. I mean, you now have the official ranking of every dinosaur ever. This is the official, the official ranking. There are no other ranking videos. This is the only one. Don't even search YouTube for anything else. Anyways, if you made it this far, then come on, you may as well subscribe. I mean, what the hell? You should treat yourself today. And speaking of subscribing, as I said before, if you go to my channel, there should be 2 other videos already on the channel for you to watch. So go watch them right now. Anyways, guys, make sure to let me know your ranking in the comments. Even though this is the official ranking, I still will look at yours, I guess. And make sure to give me video suggestions because they may be considered. Anyways, I'll leave it at that, and I hope you have a great day. So, see ya.